With that technology, it violates the laws of energy in thermodynamics and also the first law of energy as well.
So they wanted to arrest him for changing physics.
Yeah, yes. Even when we tried to file a patent, they said we were violating the natural laws of physics. So it's not an industrial applicable. We decided to take the trade secret route after that. So with this car, you can also use it to power your house. It is a moving generator. When you drive from work back to your home, you can connect your power.
There are people in life who are just influencers. These people, they don't need to ask you to do something. Like, they don't tell you, come and let's do this. They are just influencers. They would do something and then out of just nothing, you see it, you feel like, whatever this person is doing is good. And then you just find yourself doing the same things that this person has been doing without even himself or herself asking you to do whatever he's doing. These are people who are just influencers. They're just influencers. Now, hold it from that point. Just hold it from that point. Don't forget. How many of you know the responsibilities of a mother to an infant or to the children's? See, when a mother gives birth to a child, they take care of them when they are young. They wash them when they're still infants. They put pampers on them. No, pampers. We were napped with napkins. Yeah, when we were young, pampers were not there. These for the children who are growing up. Now, forget about that. So they nurse them. They take care of them. They grow up. Okay, they take care of them every time, feeding them and finding food for them, making sure they are growing up to become great people in the society. That's the responsibility of a mother to every child, okay? And then when the child grows up, he's supposed to give thanks back to the mother because the mother took the responsibilities. Because, some people don't take the responsibilities. Some people leave that because at the end of the day, they might decide not to take the responsibility. So when your mother takes care of you until you grow up, you need to give thanks back to the mother when you grow up. When you buy something, you take to your mother, or rather make your mother feel good. Come on. These Africans, this is what we're supposed to be doing, a tradition, yeah? Respecting parents and seeing them as our gods. Those are parents now. That's what Africa is supposed to be doing. And that's the responsibility of a mother to the child, okay? Now, Africa has been the mother to the Western countries all this time. This is something all of us know, and we're supposed to know, that Africa has been a mother to the West all this time. He has been nursing the West, taking care of the West since the West was young, nursing them, feeding them, okay? Making sure they are growing up to become a responsible people in the society, okay? So everything that the West is having right now, everything they are possessing today, it's as a result of Africa playing the position of motherhood in them, okay? The difference is that Africa, as a mother, did not take the responsibility of nursing the West by themselves. They were manipulated to take the responsibilities because it's like being forced someone to a child that does not belong to them. But because they don't have an understanding that this is not my child, they just have to take the responsibilities. And that is what Africa has been doing, taking the responsibility that does not belong to them. It was out of manipulation. Are you getting that? Thank you. Now, when this child grows up, becomes an adult, what does he do? He begins taking advantage, abusing Africa, abusing the mother and talking anyhow to the mother, calling them uncivilized and poor. You're calling your mother poor, you're calling your mother uncivilized, you're calling your mother illiterate, okay? Because you know very well that this mother took the responsibility that does not belong to her. I'm not actually his or her child. I'm not her child, I'm not a real child, okay? I just manipulated them to become my mother and nurse me when I had nothing, when I was young, when I couldn't walk by myself, when I couldn't feed myself, when I couldn't find food by myself, when I could not take myself to school. I had to go to this mother and manipulate him because he was the only person I could manipulate to take care of me because I had no one, okay? You know that. So you can disrespect him and disobey that. You can disrespect her and disobey her anyhow. That is what the West is doing to Africa as a mother. Because I tell you every day, Africa is the mother of the world. That is one thing you should know and understand. Africa, the mother of the world. Okay? We were made look like people who did not know anything, who can't do anything, who cannot invent anything, who cannot bring anything into action. We cannot make any, like we were limited to understand that we are nothing. Okay? That's how we were limited to that point. And finally, the truth is coming out. Since Africa started freeing itself from the Western countries, now the truth is coming out. Okay? Now the mother is beginning to realize, oh, now this child was not my child. He manipulated me to become his mother so that I can be able to help him to the extent he is right now. And now, when he has gotten there now, he is disrespecting me. So the mother has been trying to understand, why is it that this child disrespects me all the times? And then he finds out, oh, no. So this child was not really my child. He manipulated me to becoming his mother. Yeah? So Africa is waking up. Africa has understood that this really was not my mother. Oh my goodness. You guys haven't seen, you didn't see that coming. So right now, Africa now is waking up. The moment Africa started freeing itself from the Western powers, from the white man's supremacy, from the oppressors, now the actual and the real Africanity is coming out. Great minds are beginning to be seen in Africa. Great minds are beginning to be seen in Africa. Great minds. Yeah? These people have been holding our great minds in the United States of America, in France, in Germany, in Britain, in the UK, all those places. They've been held there. They're building their countries. They're raising the economies of their countries, while we in Africa, we are still continuing to suffer. That is one thing we're going to get against. We're going to go against that completely. We cannot allow that. Okay? So, now that we are freeing ourselves, now the real Africa, the actual Africa is now coming out. The actual African people are now coming out, okay? Because we now have the opportunity to prove ourselves, okay? It was limited, but we're now having the opportunity to prove ourselves. Now, let's get back to our point that we left. The people in life were just influencers. Ibrahim Traore, the African president. The king of Africa. Wow. This man is the king of Africa. We call him the king of Africa because he's doing a lot of things in Africa. He has really influenced a lot of people in Africa. See the Ivory Coast. See what is happening in Ivory Coast. They took France away. In Senegal, the same thing happened. In Niger, in Mali, the same thing happened. Now, in Chad, it happened again. Okay? Since it started happening that way, these countries have beginning to grow in a certain way that they were never growing before. Burkina Faso recently came out with an electric car that was locally manufactured. It's not imported. It's not from a foreign country. It's not from the United States of America. It's not from France. It's not from Germany. It's not from England. It's from Burkina Faso. Made in Burkina Faso by the people from the Burkina Faso. Which means we no longer need to import cars from the Western countries. We can build and make cars here in Africa. That happened 1 week ago. 1 week later, we are seeing a great achievement in Zimbabwe. Oh my goodness. You guys, you guys have to see this. In Zimbabwe, there's this guy in Zimbabwe who has just there's this guy in Zimbabwe who has just invented a car. Come on. He has just invented a car that does not use fuel, neither does it use electricity. It's using the radio waves. It's using, Come on, guys. In Africa, there is, oh my God. You need to see these things, man. In Africa, we have greater minds, big minds in Africa. Because if someone from Africa can be able to do something like this, and all these years, we've not been able to even understand that Africans can actually do these things, because we've been kept down all the times. Anytime we try to come out and do something, we are blocked, because we want to all the times be seen like people who does not understand anything. That's what is happening. And it's very bad. It's really very bad. But now we cannot be manipulated anymore, because now we understand what we are supposed to be doing. Listen, this guy is called Maxwell Chikumbuso. Maxwell Chikumbuso. That's an African name. Chikumbuso is an African name. Leave alone Maxwell. We have Chikumbuso. He is the inventor and the founder of the Sayeth Group. The inventor and the founder of the Sayeth Group. Okay? Now, he has made a self-powering motor vehicle, SEPV. Self-powering motor vehicle, SEPV. This needs only radio waves to move. No electricity, no fuel. You don't need to refuel it. You don't need to recharge it. You don't need to recharge it. You don't need to refuel it. It only needs radio waves to move. That's what it needs. Okay? Now, let me tell you how this vehicle works. Because this guy has really, if these things just come out and it maybe in one way or the other, it comes out successful and perfect. My friend, I'm telling you, Africa is going to be the giant of the world. As it is already, but people don't know. People think we're still, I'm telling you, we are going to be, because listen, if someone, it is the first time, this car is made from Africa, and it is the first time ever in the world, the first car that does not need to be refueled and to be recharged from Zimbabwe. It's from Zimbabwe, the first one from Zimbabwe, Africa. From Zimbabwe, Africa. Let me tell you something. West African countries are becoming great countries. And I'm just saying that many other countries from the Eastern Africa, from the Northern Africa, from the Southern Africa, we need to start following this route. Because if we don't do it, if we don't follow this route, we're going to be left behind. Okay. I'm just telling you, we're going to be left behind. Msemo wa Kiswahili unasema chelewa utapata mwana si wako. Chelewa utapata mwana si wako. Huo ni msemo wa Kiswahili, which means when you late, you'll get a child. No, it's difficult to translate in English, but it's in direct translation. When you get late, you'll find a child does not belong to, oh, sorry, leave that alone. Now, let me tell you how this car works. This is how this car works. This vehicle harnesses energy from the radio waves. Okay? It's a concept that goes against traditional laws of thermodynamics, which states that energy cannot be created from nothing. The laws of thermodynamics stated that energy cannot be created from nothing. But Maxwell Chikumbuso has just made a car that can create energy out of nothing, because radio waves is almost nothing, okay? So this car can be able to create energy out of nothing, and it moves, okay? According to his explanation, the car utilizes a proprietary energy system that allows the battery to continuously recharge itself, removing the need for external charging stations, solar panels, or fuels. Did you hear that? No, listen again. According to his explanation, the car utilizes a proprietary energy system that allows the battery to continuously recharge itself, removing the need for external charging stations, solar panels, or fuel. So what we need is not fuel to refuel, is not electricity to recharge. So this vehicle is powered entirely by radio waves and violates the 9 laws of energy and thermodynamics. So we have laws of energy and thermodynamics that was created by the Western people. You see, it was created, the inventors were the Western people, and they're making it as a law. You created something. It was created by a man, and he made it as a law. What makes you think that's a law? Okay? It's a law according to them, not according to us, because we are now coming up to be able to build our own cars and create our own cars, and we are going to put our own laws again. And we don't want to see any white man coming here and telling us, now we want to. We will tell you you are going against the law, because we now Africans, we are creating everything we are using, many things we are using, even in schools, in terms of physics and many other, they were created and invented by the white man. And so we are reading them. It's what is happening in our schools. We need even to change the systems of education in our schools and start doing things an African way. Let's build anything and teach our children anything. It doesn't matter. It shouldn't be a must that we read physics that was written by someone else who doesn't know even where it's coming from. We can create anything we want to create as Africans and make it our education. Why should we follow theirs? Yeah? So many scientists from the Western are now shocked. They don't understand. Like they're trying to believe this thing. They're trying, because this Maxwell Chikumbuso, when he was in the United States of America, he tried to bring out this invention. He tried to bring it out. He tried to explain it out, but he was blocked. He was blocked from doing that. And I will quote. Let me quote what he said. This is what he said. I am trying to prove a point that many people from the West don't want to agree with. It's something that I knew it's possible. But while in the United States of America institution, I was blocked when I was trying to invent this thing because I violated the laws of thermodynamics. Not only that, I was to be arrested too. So he tried to bring this thing. He tried to invent this thing. He tried to explain it to the people when he was in the United States of America institution. But he was blocked. He was told, you're violating the 9 laws of energy and thermodynamics. Okay, he was even almost arrested because of doing this, my friend. You see, that's why I tell you, anytime an African person wants to come out with something, wants to make something, they tend to block him. Why are they blocking him? They are blocking him because they don't want Africans to come out with great things, because they know when we do that, we are going to revolve ourselves, and because we will realize that we can actually do things our own way, that we are capable. Africa is capable, but these people do not want us to do that. They really don't want us to do that. So what does they do? What they do is that they tend to block us. And that is what happened to Maxwell Chikumbuso. Okay? I want you to listen to him, what he's saying.
So the vehicle is powered with what we call a microsonic energy device. That is the vehicle, it uses what we call the microsonic energy device. Microsonic energy device, it is the device that I personally invented in 2009, which harness radio frequencies, converted it into energy. As you know, radio frequencies, they are measured in nanovolts, meaning to say they are less than a volt. They are just like nothing, but we find a way of harnessing it through the creation of the 70% of the components in the microsonic energy, which I've tailor-made, which I've designed. So those are the components that enable the radio frequency to be transferred into pure, useful energy. And this is the first time in the world. With that technology, it violates the laws of energy in thermodynamics, and also the first law of energy as well.
So they wanted to arrest him for changing physics.
Yes. Even when we tried to file a patent, they said we were violating the natural laws of physics. So it's not an industrial applicable. We decided to take the trade secret route after that. So with this car, you can also use it to power your house. It is a moving generator. When you drive from work back to your home, you can connect your power cable, then you can power your house. It gives you 15 kilowatts power to power your house. And the vehicle itself, it has got 160 kilowatts electric motor, which gives you a torque of about 320 to 380 Newton meters of torque. That means it's fast. And we are talking of horsepower of around 215 horsepower. So when we compare this car with the same cars of this model, like the Toyota Urban Cruiser, you will see that this is efficient in everything. When you talk of load, our car, it doesn't weigh much. It weighs 1,405 kgs only. When you talk of an urban cruiser, you're talking of about 1,800. So that means you can carry extra baggage in the vehicle. Top speed is 220 kilometers per hour. Yeah, which is fast. It has got 2 driving modes. We have got the sport mode, which will give you 0 to 100 kilometers per hour in around 2 seconds. That is very, very powerful. Then we've got what we call a normal driving mode when you want to drive like in town. You can select that one so that it won't give you a lot of torque.
Chikumbuso also talks about his journey to Silicon Valley in the United States of America, where he was poisoned together with his partner, who passed on for defying the laws of physics.
We were poisoned at that time. Dr. Teddy didn't make it. He died in January 2017. I survived by the grace of God. So I was always in Zimbabwe and United States of America until he heard about myself. Then he invited
the
president, yes. Then he invited me to come back and put my base in Zimbabwe. So right now I'm based in Zimbabwe. Best advantage, the driving range is unlimited. I charge square, I sweep my gates. Kungora mamchi driver for the next 20 years. And the motor carriage at Traore, Yapa market, the Samurai number plates. From 2015 we have been working hard, testing it, homologations, CBCA certifications, ISO certifications, FCC standards. Sakaya roadworthy. Even when it comes to Zimbabwe, it went through VID. Sakaya motkari akubvumidzwa kufamba parod.
You are the inventor.
Yeah, I'm the one who invented the technology.
Is there any other vehicle in the world?
With this technology, no, this is the first vehicle in the world.
Africa is great. Africa is big. Africa is huge. Ibrahim Traore recently came out with an electric car that was locally manufactured in the Sahel. This is a combination of 3 countries. We have Niger, we have Mali, and we have Burkina Faso. So the Ituwa Sahel was made in Burkina Faso. Okay? Now, 1 week later, Zimbabwe has invented another car. This one is great. Okay? Now, Africa is changing because Ibrahim Traore decided to chase France away. And many people initially said that Burkina Faso is going to suffer because they were not supposed to chase them. You know, Africans cannot do things by themselves. We don't have the capability, we don't have the potentials. So when we ask these people away from our countries, it's going to be like it's going to destroy us. Is it destroying us? It's not destroying us. Okay? It would be destroying us. It would be destroying us. Burkina Faso would not be the way it is today. Burkina Faso would not be looking like the way it's looking today. Okay? But after people have realized that Burkina Faso is actually growing rapidly and growing in terms of everything, economy, development, education, everything. When they realize that, even health, even agricultural sector is raising, education sector is raising. When they realize that, they knew, so we don't need the Western people to actually do these things. So we don't need them to survive. They said, oh my God, we are going to chase you away. They've been taking them away every time. Chad did it just 3 days ago. Okay? And Ibrahim Traore was happy about that. Now, people are now inventing things in Africa. That is the spirit we want. That's the spirit we want. Okay? Now, let's join our hands together and give claps to Maxwell Chikumbuso and the Zimbabwean president for allowing him to do this thing, and together with Ibrahim Traore, who is also one of the people who are influencing African leaders and African people to understand that they can actually do things by themselves. He's actually strengthening them. Now, let's put our hands together and clap for these people. Until next time, don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel, African Streamline, Pan-Africanist who is looking forward to see the freedom of Africa and the revolution of Africa. African Streamline is your place, your home. And don't forget to be, anytime you come here, just know you're at the right place and feel at home. As I say every day, Africa is home, and anything that happens in Africa, anything that concerns Africa concerns me and you as African people, my black brothers from diaspora, from Caribbean, and from Africa in particular. All right, adios, guys.